Hi everyone, and welcome to Heal Endometriosis Naturally with Wendy K. Laidlaw. Wendy has spent the last 2 years helping women with various stages of endometriosis to heal naturally after putting her condition into remission. After her own healing success from stage 4 endometriosis and adenomyosis, she's inspired to heal others, and her goal is to help some of the 175 million women know that there is another way other than painkillers, drugs, or surgery. This is the place to be for real talk with real people for real results, so you can learn how to heal your endometriosis naturally. Please note that the opinions expressed in this program may represent options, but are not a substitute for proper medical care. Before starting any new healthcare program, we recommend you consult with a health professional.
Hey everyone, it's Wendy K. Laidlaw here from Heal Endometriosis Naturally. It's great to be speaking to you again. I've been away on holiday recently, hence the delay, and you haven't had so many podcasts from me. But I hope you have been using the time wisely and going back over some of the older ones and keeping inspired and keeping your energy and your focus up on yourself. Today I wanted to take a slightly different subject just because I'd heard this lovely little story, and I think it feeds in really nicely to my message and my vision and what I hope to impart to all you women who are listening to this with endometriosis. Over and above the fact that there is hope, there are actual positive and important steps that you can take to take back power and control that no one has told you about until now. So this podcast is referred to or called, Are You A Raindrop? So I heard this lovely story the other day that I really wanted to share. It's about a raindrop. Yes, I know what you're thinking. Have I gone slightly mad? Well, no is the answer. But before you judge me further, let me continue. Once upon a time, there was a raindrop that fell to the ground and landed on a wooden jetty that stretched out into the sea. The raindrop was dazed and confused, yet curious of her surroundings. She noticed other raindrops falling down either side of her, but she felt very alone and frightened. What was to become of her, she wondered. She then noticed some of the raindrops move and slip through the cracks of the jetty and fall into the sea. She was terrified and clung on tightly for fear that this would also be her fate. Then she saw that the raindrops stopped falling from the sky and relaxed a little. The raindrop noticed the sun peek out from behind the grey clouds. Then, to her surprise, she noticed some raindrops being dried up by the sun, so she darted down in between the space of the wooden boards on the jetty and hid. Her fear intensified as she clung on tighter and tighter, unsure of what to do next. But she feared for her life. She knew she couldn't hang on much longer and felt stuck, trapped, riddled with anxiety and fear. So the raindrop closed her eyes and let go, and something magical happened. She turned into the ocean. Isn't that just such a lovely story? What a glorious story of how when we have endometriosis, we can get stuck and frozen in fear. We see the others get dried up by the modern medical machine and get stuck in fear of not knowing what to do. The medical machine does not have an understanding of the personalized nature of a chronic condition like endometriosis or adenomyosis. Otherwise, there wouldn't be so many women having repeated surgeries as they do. It is governed by the government and funded by the trillion-dollar pharmaceutical industry. Medical professionals are not trained to look for the underlying root causes and appreciate the incredible self-healing capabilities of a human body, given all the right ingredients and conditions, of course. When you feel frozen in fear and pain, your brain just doesn't feel like you even know where to go next. You numb out your own beautiful instincts, becoming mentally and in some cases physically paralyzed about the options that are actually available to you, aside from the painkillers, drugs, and surgery, which of course are touted by the medical machine. It may feel like you fall through the wooden cracks or gaps of the jetty, get stuck and get forgotten about. Or, like I did many, many years ago, feel stuck on the endless hamster wheel of painkillers, drugs and surgery, chasing the best surgeon with the newest procedure and the fandangle drug. All these false hopes and promises that you're given, which to your despair and confusion only end up making you worse. Last week, I heard of yet more disturbing stories of a woman being bullied by her surgeon and her husband into having a full hysterectomy surgical procedure because the female surgeon, whom she had waited a year to see, gave her only a few hours to decide and refused to do just an investigative laparoscopy, but insisted on only doing a full removal of her female sex organs. Another woman, whilst under general anaesthetic for explorative laparoscopy, was given a Lupron injection without any permission. Lupron, for some of you who may not know, is used on cancer patients, covered with warning signs and skull and crossbones, and highly toxic to women with endometriosis. And another lady I heard of who, despite ultra-clear written instructions to her gynecologist whilst having surgery not to remove anything of her insides, had her wishes totally ignored and part of both fallopian tubes removed. And a woman just messaged me recently just saying that I was offering misinformation about healing naturally and that surgery was, in inverted commas, the gold standard. It's quite astonishing, really, isn't it, how we're all brainwashed and conditioned. And it's frightening when you offer an alternative door that is slammed closed without any further investigation. My gut feeling is, if you're here and you're listening to this, there is something bigger and deeper inside you seeking more answers. And for that, I commend you. Well done. I know if you're feeling frightened, how paralyzing that can be. But my mission is not to scare, but to ensure you fight to get all the information you need before you make a decision, especially on the medical machine. Because let's be clear, you are only just a number on a conveyor belt. And if the medical route was going to work for you, it would have worked for you by now. It would have done so by now. If it's not, then you owe it to yourself to think outside the medical box. Albert Einstein said it best: the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. And it's not your fault either. You go to a medical person expecting them to help you back to health. That's how we've all been conditioned and what we've been conditioned to believe. Yet when you get worse, they can make you out to be a hypochondriac and that somehow it's all your fault. But it's not. You have been conditioned, like the rest of the Western world, to put your body into the hands of a stranger in a white coat and ask no questions. But ask the questions. That is essential. I even offer a free handout download. Just email support@healendometriosisnaturally.com and one of my assistants will email it out to you free of charge. It is essential to ask questions. Maybe you grew up in a family, a dysfunctional family, or a family where it was not safe for you to ask questions. But this is your body you're talking about, and you only get one body. And all the body parts have an essential and innate ability to, they have a purpose. So you want to hang on to every little part of your body, because once it's been removed, you can't get it put back in. So something has guided you to me and to this podcast. And for that, I encourage you to keep listening to your instincts. You may have family, friends, an array of medical people telling you to do something, yet your instincts are screaming at you. Listen to your gut instincts. This is your body, no one else's. Did you know that there are as many brain cells lining your intestinal tract as there are brain cells in a cat's brain? So when they say, listen to your gut instincts, and what is your gut telling you? Never ever doubt yourself, no matter what or who is saying differently to you. Above all, you are left with the remnants of your body after they have finished tinkering with it. It staggers me that a metal machine, i.e. the Da Vinci robot, is licensed to go anywhere near a woman's body. Could you imagine that same machine going anywhere near a man's sex organs? No, I don't think so. So don't stay in hiding between the cracks and gaps of the wooden jetty of life. Explore in your heart, body, and soul through some reflection and restorative acts like journaling or meditation what your next steps are. Never, ever, ever feel bullied or pressured into action. Slow is fast has been my greatest savings motto. Slow is fast. You've heard the parable and the story about the tortoise and the hare. But a woman with endometriosis needs to take her time to make any decisions. We've all felt pressure of a better, faster, more society. We're all very impatient. But when it comes to your body, take your time. Listen to yourself and listen to your instincts above all else and above anyone else. I believe you have a great, beautiful life. That is the reason that you've had this is because there's some lesson and learning in it. And for some reason, endo has shown up. And I believe it's to do with the 5 P's of the 5 poisons: produce, products, property, past, and people. But I believe it's to draw attention to some areas of your life that are needing changing. And it's not like there isn't enough information out there on the internet about endometriosis. That's not the problem. You just have to go on the internet and type in endometriosis and you are awash and overwhelmed with information. It's the right specific direction, mentoring and support that you need. It's tough when you start this journey. It's no quick fix, but it is so worth it to be pain-free once and for all. I was going through my journals recently, and I think I'm now at I think it's a 5-year mark of being pain-free, totally pain-free of endometriosis and adenomyosis. I have had a student who just emailed me yesterday, and she's 8 months pain-free. Isn't that just amazing? Can you imagine what that would be like for you? My vision is to have the world's leading training organization for endometriosis health coaches, so that there is an abundance of support and help around the globe, sharing the Ladle protocols and empowering women like you with endometriosis like never before. And importantly, breaking the ancestral lines of endometriosis from one generation to the next. What is beautiful about taking the natural route of working with your body is there are no nasty side effects. On the other side, several of my students have had great strides recently, moving forward this week, and it's always such a joy to see their growth and hearing and seeing how their bodies are showing strong healing signs. It really isn't rocket science. If you've heard my other podcasts, it's just like when you cut a finger or you fall over and graze your knee, or perhaps you've burned something on your body's always wanting to heal itself. You can't cure a cut and you can't cure a burn and you can't cure a graze. But if you can stop cutting yourself, falling over on your bike or burning your finger, your body will heal. And the same principles apply to endometriosis. And when you let go of the mainstream medical machine, something beautiful and magical happens. No longer is your highly inflamed body bombarded with toxic, damaging, and sometimes addictive painkillers, or with a cocktail of poisonous drugs, or barbaric surgery that has dreadful and sometimes major side effects that no one dares to share with you beforehand, all of which causes their own injury to an already injured and highly inflamed body. However tough things get, remember it's the tough times that make you tougher. The important thing in life is not the triumph, but the struggle, and finding your power and the lesson in this struggle out of the other side. I almost lost everything, but I have gained the world. I'm in a job that I feel honored of guiding and mentoring women with endometriosis out, getting to the root cause and helping them get through to the other side, to their real calling and their real destiny. The path to successful healing is never a straight path, and it's the seeds that we sow in our learnings that create our success, and by reaching out to someone who has walked in your shoes and put this condition into remission. Some well-meaning women I know are offering help to women with endometriosis, yet they still suffer in pain every single month. Some supportive natural practitioners even offer lovely suggestions. But sadly, no one knows endometriosis unless they've had it and conquered it. So cut out the noise on the outside, listen to the voice on the inside, and keep your eyes on the prize. Now, my 21-day challenge is a great place to start. It is a low cost but extremely high value, offering the challenge to do two of the most powerful tools on the planet, i.e. meditation and journaling, along with getting lovely support and daily inspiration and coaching from me. For centuries, these tools of journaling and meditation continue to give guidance and feedback like no other, and help keep your self-care at the forefront. The saying goes, we are more vulnerable than we ever thought, but we are stronger than we ever imagined. All of the most successful women and men in history have had many differences, but they've had one thing in common. They never give up. The ones who gave up, you don't see. You only see the ones who never gave up. So as long as you never give up, no matter what, you'll be fine, and seek out a different route if this current route is not serving you. Mahatma Gandhi says it beautifully. First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, and then they fight you, and then you win. Yet stepping out in faith and letting go of clinging to that wooden jetty and taking a step back into nature and allowing you to drop into the ocean, you become the master or the mistress of your body. Or rather, you become a boss of your endometriosis, an endoboss. Keep you number one to your health.
Thanks for listening to Heal Endometriosis Naturally with Wendy K. Laidlaw, and I hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and rate us. If you're interested in learning more, you can download your top 5 jumpstart tips at healendometriosisnaturally.com and jump on the VIP email list. Remember to keep you number one. The world needs a healthy you.